HappyCrochetLady, and today I'm going to be telling you all about me. So I am officially moving, so that's why my background is not my usual blue background that those of you who follow me know. I usually have a blue background. Although I grew up in Wisconsin, my grandma and my mother are from Liverpool. So I grew up very like, yeehaw! But also I would spend the weekends with my grandma and be like, oh, a cup of tea, let's learn a fact about the Queen. So when I got this call from Sirdar and they were like, hey, do you want to work with us? I'm like, oh my god, I hope I can go to England because I would love to see my family. I start out my Halloween by getting out my decorations, putting on the spooky films. Like for me, Twilight is just such a funny movie that I put on Twilight. And then I love to pack up my children. We go to the farm, and at the farm we pick pumpkins, we bring the pumpkins home, we carve them, and then of course when Halloween day comes along, I dress up my children and we go trick-or-treating. It is just such a fun time of year. I love almost everything, minus the gore of Halloween. How did I get started in crochet? So it was Christmas of 2017, and my mother, sorry mom, I'm gonna share this, my mother was like, oh, knitting is very great. And I was like, oh yeah, what about crochet? And she's like, crochet's okay. So I decided that I was gonna learn how to crochet just to irritate my mother, and I started by learning how to crochet just like free-handed a pig. Wait, I can actually show it to you. Here's the first thing I ever crocheted. I just kind of freeform made a pig. Isn't he cute? I started to take HappyCrochetLady more seriously when I made this big pizza. So I made a pizza blanket that's like a triangle and then it unfolds onto this big circle pizza. And that video got 9 million views on TikTok and on Instagram, and I was like, oh, maybe I could turn this into a thing. And then that's what kickstarted my career as HappyCrochetLady, and now I can't stop making blankets. What inspired the eyeball cushion? Well, it was a hot July day and I was like, you know what would be cool? An eyeball pillow. And I ended up putting on the Twilight series on my laptop, and I was just like crocheting while watching Twilight. It was so funny. I am not usually a movie person, but I figured I wanted to be in the Halloween vibe, and that was given Halloween. How many hours a week do I crochet? I crochet about 2 hours a day because I have small children, so I'm spending all my time chasing them and saying, hey, don't put that in your mouth. So otherwise, I would crochet all day if I were allowed. So for me, this blanket was all about how much I love the Halloween icons. So I hope you guys love it as much as I do. So I started thinking about Halloween. I'm like, what do we think about Halloween? Well, Halloween, there's so many aspects, right? We've got zombies and witches and cats and bats and guts and ghosts and all those different types of things. So when I have all these ideas, what I do is I take all of them and I put them into a poll on my Instagram stories. For this blanket, I asked a lot of different questions of what do people like for their Halloween icons versus what they don't like. So, funny example of that is I said, what do you guys think of spider webs? And people are like, we love spider webs. I'm like, what do we think about spiders? They're like, no way, Rachel, no spiders on this blanket. And I'm like, I got you. So that's why this blanket has cobwebs all around, but no spiders in sight, because the polls told me no. To go more in depth about the design, we did pumpkin border around the outside, and then I was thinking about like witches. So we've got witches warts and witches tights, which run along the side. And then we've got the cat stitch, because obviously cats and witches go together. And then we've got with like the moons and the cats and the bats with the flappy wings and the flappy tail, like we wanted that 3D element. And then when we dove into the smaller icons, right, so we've got like a hypnotic little swirl going on. We've got a skull because obviously Halloween. We've got an eyeball because, like, if you're thinking about a cauldron, right, what's floating around in your cauldron? Probably an eyeball. And then obviously we had to have jack-o'-lanterns, because what is Halloween without a jack-o'-lantern? And who doesn't have jack-o'-lanterns on Halloween? It's like a necessity. And then of course the cobwebs on all of the sides. So we have all of these different elements of Halloween swimming around in the blanket, and it was just spectacular, or should I say spooktacular. What was the thing that surprised me the most about working with Sirdar? For me, I was so surprised that they let me use US terms, because I was a little worried that they'd want UK terms. Again, if you are more familiar with UK terms, don't worry, the pattern is still available in UK terms, but that was something that pleasantly surprised me. I also really loved the whole team. Everyone was just so friendly and warm and welcoming. I walked into Sirdar feeling a little bit nervous. I left Sirdar with lifelong friends. Like, I love that team. I was thinking about on the airplane back home, like, man, if I lived in England, I would apply to work in a position there, because I just love the team so much. If you're a beginner and you're feeling nervous in any way, shape, or form, don't worry. These videos will walk you through how to do each and every stitch so that you'll be able to make the blanket exactly like mine, as well as we have a Facebook group. So if you get lost at any point in time, just come on over to the Facebook group and somebody will be able to assist you. I hope to see you guys at the Cal, and happy Halloween!